Apps such as DoorDash and Uber Eats have provided millions of drivers the ability to earn a full-time or part-time income on their own schedule. While these apps are a fantastic opportunity, they're not all sunshine and rainbows. What's going on, everybody? I'm Zach from Zach Tries Fast for the Rideshare Guy, and today we're going to talk about common manipulation tactics that DoorDash and Uber Eats play that could cost you money. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video so you don't fall victim to any of their games. Let's jump right into it. DoorDash programs usually don't benefit the driver. I've been driving for DoorDash for about 3 years now. I've seen the introduction of several new pilot programs, and when I was a new driver, I was given Top Dasher, so I know how DoorDash uses their programs to benefit themselves. Frankly, this could be a subject worthy of its own video, but for now, this will be a high-level overview. One of the more recent programs to roll out is the High Pay Order program, or as some are calling it, the Diamond program. I had the opportunity to try this pilot program. My market, Bellingham, Washington, got the program in June, months before other markets. This is the email that DoorDash sent me. It's important to note the wording has changed slightly from when I received the invitation to how it reads now. We're going to briefly take a look at previous wording, as I feel it's important to paint a picture on how DoorDash words their program descriptions to trick drivers into thinking that they're getting something that they actually aren't. I want to read a section of the email that I got about 6 months ago, and we'll be coming back to the current wording shortly. Hi Zach, starting June 21st, we're introducing a new pilot program in Bellingham, Washington that gives eligible Dashers preferential access to higher paying orders. These orders pay $2+ a mile during delivery, including tips. In order to help you participate, we're giving Dashers like you with a high customer rating an opportunity to reset your acceptance rate. Reset here or read on for details. Did you catch anything funny with the wording? It said, during delivery. $2 a mile during delivery is not $2 a mile. $2 a mile during delivery is measured from the restaurant to the customer, not you to the restaurant to the customer. This is why we're analyzing the way that they used to word it. This is a screenshot taken in my market. Not only is that not $2 a mile, that's less than $1 a mile. Most drivers would read $2 a mile and assume that they're going to make $2 a mile, full stop. But those two words in the program description, during delivery, give DoorDash an out to not deliver on what drivers assume they're going to be getting. I've taken a close look at the last 3 pilot programs that DoorDash has rolled out, and all 3 of them have had some form of clever wording that gives them an out to not deliver on what drivers think that they're getting. I call this DoorDashese. An honest program description would have been teleport to the restaurant and then drive to the customer to earn $2 a mile. When this pilot program rolled out to a more national scale, the wording was changed to something even more vague. Let me read you the list of benefit on DoorDash's website. High-paying orders are some of the highest-paying deliveries in the area, which can vary by area, over time, and by delivery distance. We calculate high-paying orders based on the total pay, which includes base pay, peak pay, and tips. Look out for the diamond icon in the Dasher app, which means that the order is high-paying. At no point do they elaborate on what some of the highest paying orders in your area look like. Staying on the subject of pilot programs, DoorDash has recently rolled out an hourly pay program. When you open the Dasher app to go online, you're greeted with this screen. I want you to take a look at the first line under Earn by Time. It states, earn at least $15.75 an hour in DoorDash pay. Most drivers would stop reading there and assume that they're going to make $15.75 an hour. But like many things with DoorDash, unless you were to read an in-depth program description, you're not going to truly understand what you're getting. That section goes on to say, from when you accept an order to when you drop it off. This is not an hourly rate. If they were being forthcoming, they would advertise this as 26 cents per active minute. That $15.75 could take you substantially longer than 1 hour to earn. Let's look at a practical example. Let's say I started my dash at noon and accepted my first order at 12:30. I delivered that order to the customer at 1 p.m. 1 hour has passed. So, how much money did we make? If your guess was $15.75, you'd be wrong. I'd like to pop that screenshot back up, but this time, let's read the description from start to finish. It says, earn at least $15.75 an hour in DoorDash pay from when you accept an order to when you drop it off. Customer tips are additional. According to DoorDash, out of that hour you were online, you were only active for 30 minutes, so you earned $7.87 from 12 to 1 p.m. If you're waiting to accept an order, you're not being paid. If you're driving back from delivering an order, you're not being paid. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, yeah, Zach, but we're going to make tips on top of that. And you very well might. However, you very well may not. The problem with this is there's no upfront payment information shown. So you don't find out whether your customer tipped or not until after the order is delivered. This is a sneaky way of DoorDash getting bad orders delivered so they don't have to bonus them, therefore enticing drivers to take them. We all have that one restaurant in our market that we avoid like the plague. One of the massive problems with this program is you can only decline 1 order per hour. If you decline 2, your dash will be ended. In my opinion, this pilot program tries to treat you like an employee without paying you like one. There are so many more games that DoorDash plays. This is just the tip of the iceberg. If you'd like to hear more, let us know in the comments section. Let's move on to Uber Eats. They play far fewer games than DoorDash does, but when they do play a game, it's just as bad, if not worse. Uber's been hiding pickup restaurants and approximate drop-off locations in select markets for over a year now. Imagine waiting 30 minutes and finally getting an order only to see that it only shows the amount you're going to make, the estimated amount of time you're going to spend on the order, and the mileage. There are two key pieces of information missing there: where you're picking it up, but more importantly, where you're dropping it off. You may inadvertently be accepting an order for that popular new restaurant that just opened up downtown with no parking for blocks. Or, even worse, a Wendy's. For argument's sake, let's say the pickup location was fine, but until you have the food in your hand and swipe start delivery, you have no idea where they're taking you. In my opinion, a lack of transparency is one of the biggest issues plaguing the gig economy. But not having the slightest inkling on where we're going until we're committed is unacceptable. With this, you could be led into the worst part of town where you don't just feel unsafe, you are unsafe. I can't speak for you, but there's a couple of areas in my market that I refuse to go to regardless of the pay. It doesn't matter if they're trying to pay me $50 for 12 miles. My safety is worth a hell of a lot more than that. Let's consider this from a less extreme perspective. Let's assume that the restaurant that was hidden from you when you first accepted the order was a decent pickup, but this time, the order's going downtown, you have to pay for parking, get buzzed into a secure building, and take an elevator to the 70th floor. Is that $6.50 still worth it? So, why do they being DoorDash and Uber Eats, play these types of games? Acceptance rate matters. To them. The higher the driver's acceptance rate, the higher the probability that the first driver that they send the order to is going to accept it. And therefore, there's less of a chance that that order is going to bounce from driver to driver, therefore making it late. At the end of the day, if the order doesn't pay enough to get accepted, that's a them problem, not an us problem. We're independent contractors, not their employees, and you should exercise your right to decline any order that pays like shit. A general contractor isn't going to accept a job without knowing the location of the work. A contractor isn't going to accept a job without knowing the total that they're going to receive. And that brings me into my final talking point for this video: tip baiting. If you're not familiar with the term tip baiting, it's a somewhat common problem on Uber Eats and Instacart, and an extremely common problem on Spark. Let's say you accept an order and you're expecting to be paid $11.05. But after completing the delivery, the customer decides that you didn't deliver their order with the elegance that they were expecting, so they reduce or completely remove the tip. Now, instead of earning $11.05, you've earned $3. You've wasted 20 minutes on it, spent your own gas, put miles on your car, and all for a customer that never had the intention of compensating you adequately to begin with. I'm going to save my thoughts on customers doing this for another video. Instead, I want to focus on the fact that the companies allow it to happen. In no other line of work do you accept a job, complete the work, and then have the misfortune of not being paid what you were owed. We can't decide that we want to keep half of the customer's order and expect to keep our ability to drive. We'd get deactivated, and rightfully so. So how is it that these multi-billion-dollar companies are allowing their contractors' time and money to be stolen? In any other line of work, if a contractor agrees to a job, does the work, and gets paid less, it would end up in court. But when it happens to us, it's part of the job, and tips are optional? Screw that. Tip baiting should be illegal. Well guys, that's going to about wrap up this video. What do you think the worst games played by the delivery companies are? Let me know in the comment section. If you aren't already, consider subscribing to the Rideshare Guy. In the near future, I'm going to be doing a deep dive on each of these subjects and telling you how to put the ball back in your court. I'm Zach from Zach Drives Fast for the Rideshare Guy. Take care.